Hi Pokefans, welcome back to part 2 of my Nuzlocke challenge in Pokemon Violet. Now if you haven't seen part 1, here is a small recap. In this journey, I will be only catching Wild Terra Pokemon as a part of the Nuzlocke challenge. And I think as far as I've seen, there are around 64 Pokemon, so we should be pretty good. In the beginning of my journey, I went ahead and chose one of the starters, which is Fuecoco in this case. And we have made our way to the Yuva Academy. Over there we started the treasure hunt and I did decide to go ahead and go through the western gate. That is where I was able to find my first 3 team members. If you're more interested to check out on this and how I was able to catch them and get my first gym badge, I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and check out the first episode. I also have put a link right here to go to the first episode as well. Anyway, now that we have got our very first gym badge, I am finally ready to go ahead and get the rest of my team members. In this case, today I'll be making my way through the eastern gate of Mesagoza and find the Wild Terra Pokemons over there. I'm also going to be planning to take down the first Titan Pokemon, which in this case would be the Stonecliff Titan Pokemon, and then challenge the Artazon gym in this episode. So definitely it's going to be pretty interesting. So let's quickly go ahead and make our way to the very first Terra Pokemon in this area. Right next to the Pokemon Center that we do find in the main path when we go through the eastern gate, we have our first Terra Wild Pokemon. This one I think is a Jigglypuff with Water Terra type. Definitely pretty helpful considering that we do have to go down and defeat a Stonecliff Titan. So I definitely think this is going to be a really good addition to my team. Now all I'm hoping for is that we are able to go ahead and catch this one right here. In this case I do have Lucky up in front and I did also decide to kind of terrestrialize it. With this I feel like the move power is going to be much better. As usual for the first turn I'm going to go with Fake Out. And definitely that is kind of a bonus. I think it's a really good move, especially if you are in a Nuzlocke challenge, to kind of safely do some damage without any repercussions. There we go, that is pretty good damage. For the second turn, I'll go with Aerial Ace, which I think will do a much better damage considering that we are a Flying Terra type. Ooh, okay, here comes the Water Pulse, and I am a bit concerned. Water Pulse can sometimes confuse your Pokemon. And there we go, Lucky is confused. Alright, I'll go with Scratch this turn so that the damage, even if done on myself, wouldn't be too bad. Thankfully we were able to hit it and we were able to break the transformation for Jigglypuff right here. Let me quickly go ahead and use my Pokeball. By the way, if you're wondering how I was able to buy so many Pokeballs, it's just from one of the adventure sets that I got when I bought this game. So I was actually able to redeem it since I didn't really use it before. But there we have it. We have got Jigglypuff and it seems like Meowth right here is learning Bite, which definitely is going to be helpful, so I'm going to teach it. Let me quickly go ahead and I guess name the Jigglypuff. Here it is. Pretty cool. I think a fairy Pokemon is definitely quite helpful as well to the team. So I'm really happy to add this one. Alright, now that I have named it, I am gonna go ahead and add this one to my party. There we go. That is the 4th member of our current team. Before we move on, I just want to check out the moveset of this Pokemon. Usually the moveset will be pretty good. But sometimes I think it's better to just go ahead and check out what moveset they have, just in case if it is actually helpful. In this case, I'll go ahead and teach it Quavet, which is a really good move. Alright, I think everything else is pretty fine. Let's quickly go ahead and find the other 2 team members before we challenge our Titan Pokemon. Now, the next Terra Pokemon is actually right next to this small pond right here. And this is in a border of the area. It's actually a Shinx with Ice Terra type, which is pretty amazing to see. Particularly, I really like Shinx as it's a really good electric type Pokemon. So I'm so happy to actually have this one right here. The one thing I didn't know about Shinx is that it actually learns Ice Fang, which is, by the way, a really good move, especially in the beginning of the game. So I think this one will be a really good addition to my team as well. Right here, I went with Fletchling. Thankfully, Shinx didn't use any electric type move. Let me quickly testalize and try using Flame Charge, which should be, I think, enough to kind of break the transformation of Shinx and give us a chance to kind of catch it. There we go. Here is Fletchling. By the way, I'm also waiting for Fletchling to actually evolve. Hopefully it does before the next gym, which is definitely coming up pretty soon. As predicted, Flame Charge was kind of able to break the transformation, and this might be due to the fact that I did get a crit hit. Either way, we have a chance to catch the Shinx. Now this Shinx is also at level 14, so I definitely do have to go ahead and train up my team members after this. But for now, as far as I remember, the Stonecliff Titan will be at level 16, so I think I'm still pretty fine with my team members. Maybe I will have them around level 17 and then we can challenge the Titan. As for the name, I think I have a perfect name for Shinx as well. Other than Shinx right here, there's one more Terra Pokemon that we can actually find in this area. We'll definitely go ahead and catch it after this. But as you might have seen, I did name my Shinx as Spike, which is a pretty cool name by the way. And it seems like Fletchling is also evolving. Pretty cool. I am really happy and I think we are definitely ready for the next gym. Now that Fletchling is evolved, I think it's actually a part fire type. Yes, it is. Alright, pretty cool. I feel like Fletchinder right here and Shinx are definitely the best Pokemons I have currently in my team. And I will be very careful not to kind of kill them accidentally. But here is Shinx. I'm also gonna go ahead and check out its moveset. Pretty cool. I think I probably will teach Bite as well. I personally feel like having diversity in moveset will definitely help me sometime. Other than that, I think the moveset is pretty good. So let me quickly go ahead and find the third Terra Pokemon around here and we can go from there. Alright, here in South Province Area 3, as you can see, there is a Terra Wild Pokemon right there. Let me quickly go ahead and encounter it. By the way, there is one thing I do when I approach these Pokemons. Sometimes, if you might have seen before in my playthrough as well, when you approach the Terra Wild Pokemon, they can sometimes disappear, which is kind of frustrating. If that actually happens to you, I would just recommend going out of this area or this province and coming back to it. That way it will actually reappear. In my case, that just happened for this Pokemon. When I was actually approaching it, it kind of disappeared from there and I wasn't able to actually spawn it. So I went ahead and went back to Mesagoza and came back here. And this time I was able to actually see it, so it did respawn. Anyway, right here I did decide to switch out into Diglett up in front, as Dunsparce actually has a Poison Terra type. This is definitely very unique and definitely very helpful for me. So I really need to catch this Dunsparce as well. I think some of these starting Pokemons that we'll actually find are pretty good. Till now, I feel like all the 5 members in my team are unique on their own and definitely really helpful. Whoa, okay. Definitely time for me to switch it out. I can't really go into Powerpuff because it's a part fairy type. I'll actually go into Lucky, which is my Meowth. Maybe I do have to be a bit careful to not knock down Dunsparce right here. The one thing I also found out is that if you do have some kind of burn status on the Pokemon, you really can't break its transformation with that. So only the physical type of moves will actually break the transformation. So if you have burned your team member or the Pokemon that you're trying to catch, I would definitely recommend just going away from the battle. That way you can rebattle it instead of kind of losing it by defeating it right here. Alright, now that we have broken its transformation, I'm trying to catch it. Luckily, we were able to catch it with a Pokeball. Alright, let me quickly go ahead and add this one to my team as well. As you can see, some of my team members have definitely leveled up. But I don't think I want to level them up anymore, so I do have to be a bit careful about it. As for the Dunsparce, let me quickly go ahead and name it as well. There we go. This is the name for my Dunsparce. It's actually Pascal. I have no idea why I named it that. It's just a name that came to my mind, but here it is. At least Dunsparce is at level 16, so I don't really have to level it up anymore. And as for its moveset, I think the current moveset is pretty good. Hoping that it will actually learn a ground type move pretty soon, which probably will help me in Levencia City Gym. Either way, I think it's finally time for us to go ahead and battle our first Titan Pokemon. On my way to the Titan Pokemon, I was just battling the trainer and my Shinx is actually evolving. I actually forgot that Shinx actually evolves at level 15 and this was a bit of a surprise, but then I realized that it is at level 15 now. Either way, we have a Luxio, which is definitely quite helpful. And it's definitely a bit more powerful than Shinx, so pretty cool. Anyway, I think it's time for me to go ahead and make my way to the area where the Titan Pokemon is. And here is Clough, the Titan Pokemon. It looks so cool. Let me actually make my way down there. And let's see what kind of cutscene we get. I've actually forgotten the cutscenes that we usually have. Now, as far as I've seen, even though I did turn off the cutscene option, I still seem to get them, so I'm not really sure if this is supposed to happen. Either way, it seems like, yup, Clough has escaped. Let me make my way up the hill and try to encounter it once more. I've also gone ahead and placed my Jigglypuff up in front. It's actually the only Pokemon with a water type move that I can actually use against Clough. So if something happens to it, trust me, I have no other way to kind of move on forward with the game. I've also gone ahead and leveled it up a bit more, I think to level 17. Just to make sure that we at least have a chance to kind of defeat Clough right here. Either way, this is where we are going to be challenging it. Definitely pretty cool. Alright. Also, by the way, it's actually nighttime in the game, which I think the last time I played this one, I don't think it was nighttime. And this area definitely looks pretty cool at night. Let's hope we can actually go ahead and defeat this Pokemon. Just to be in the safer side, I also went ahead and test-sliced my Pokemon. This will also make sure that my Water Pulse will be a bit more stronger. Hopefully, we can take it down before it takes us down. Alright, Clough put a block, which is pretty bad. I can't really switch out my Jigglypuff if something happens. Thankfully, the Water Pulse definitely seemed to do quite a good damage. Going with it a second turn, I got hit with a crit hit and my defense is down. But at least my ability makes sure that my special attack increases, which means I think we'll be able to take it down in this turn. There we go. Pretty good. Alright, I think I'm confident that we can actually defeat it. This time, it seems like it has escaped once more, so we do have to find the Stonecliff Titan. Before we move on, I'll quickly go ahead and heal up my Jigglypuff. Now, I didn't know this before, but if you don't heal up your Pokemon in between these battles, the game doesn't auto-heal them. So, you might kind of lose the battle just because you did not heal your Pokemon. Definitely, I do not want that to happen, so I did go ahead and heal it. Right here, it seems like Clough did actually, break down an entrance of a cave. to go ahead and get the Herba Mystica. Alright, there it is, the first one. And we have Irwin right here. As usual, Irwin is also gonna help us, which by the way is pretty useful. Well, now that Clough is super tough, I think it's gonna challenge us once more. We are definitely ready to take it down. As usual, once more I'll go ahead and testalize my Jigglypuff just to make sure that my Water Pulse is gonna be pretty effective. In this case, it seems like Irwin also has Shelter in his side, which is pretty helpful. All I'm hoping is that Shelter will actually go ahead and use a Water type move instead of anything else. Even though this is the first Titan Pokemon I'm going against, I think all of these Titan battles are going to be pretty good, especially since we do have Irwin's Pokemon. Alright, it seems like Clough did go with Vice Grip, which is a really powerful move. Thankfully, Shelter is using Water Gun. I'm hoping that Clough will stop attacking us and start attacking Irwin's Pokemon. That way, I think I don't have to really heal up my Jigglypuff right here. And don't worry about anything else. Okay, seems like it definitely is focusing on Irwin more. This is the second turn of Water Pulse and we have brought it down to half health. At this point, Clough's ability does kind of activate, which increases most of its attack, special attack and speed stat while decreasing its defense and special defense. This is both good and bad at the same time. Right here, Water Gun definitely did more damage since its defense is actually down. And we were able to confuse the Clough. That is pretty good. Let me go ahead for one final move. And it seems like Clough is alright. So it did actually use Rock Tomb, but on Shelter, which was really helpful. Definitely I did get lucky with this one and we were able to defeat Clough. That is amazing. Alright. Our very first Titan Pokemon defeated. As usual, we have a very long cutscene after this, which I think I'll go ahead and just skip. But of course, it's so nice to see Jigglypuff just dancing right here. Either way, I think my team members are also ready for the next gym. So I'll see you guys back in the Artazon City gym. Of course, before that, I did have to show you guys this photo. I mean, it's the best. I think some of these are definitely quite cool. Back in the Artazon City, here is the gym building. And once we enter it, we do get the gym test. In this case, it would be probably finding all the 10 Sunfloras. Let me quickly go ahead and round up all 10 of them and quickly complete the gym test. While completing the gym test, I actually found this. This is a series of structures that I never saw before. I guess this was recently put into the game on the version. Probably the version 1.0, I guess. I'm not really sure, but all I remember is the last time I went through here for my playthrough, I actually did not notice those structures. Another thing I noticed is that some of the places where the Sunfloras are kept were also different from the original one, so definitely there has been some changes to the game itself. Either way, now that we have passed the gym test right here, it's finally time to go ahead and challenge the gym leader. Alright, I think I'm actually ready for this gym as well, since multiple of my team members can actually defeat grass type Pokemon. Let's quickly go back to the gym building and start our next gym battle. As always, this is Brassius from Artazon City, so he is gonna have the grass type Pokemon. And as a part of his dramatic entrance, he's gonna be jumping down from the windmill. I think that's a bit dangerous, but I guess it's his choice at this point. There he is. Alright. I think this gym battle is also gonna be pretty easy, but definitely you never know what will happen. Crit hits in Nuzlocke challenge is a must, so I really don't know what's gonna happen next. Although I do know that he is gonna start this challenge with a Petalil. which in this case will be pretty easy to defeat. There we go, finally we have been challenged by Brazius. And of course, here is his Petalil. For this challenge, I went ahead and tried using Pascal, who does have a Poison type, and the move Poison Tail, which is pretty helpful. Let's see if we can take down the Petalil with it. Alright, so that was a pretty good damage, and it seems like the Mega Drain didn't really do that much either. I think we'll be able to take it down in this very next turn. Using Poison Tail once more, we were able to take down the first Pokemon. Pretty cool. I actually have no idea which is the next one. Okay, it's actually Smoliv. Alright. Smoliv is good. I think this one should be easy as well. Let me quickly go ahead with another Poison Tail. And, okay. Not bad. I was not expecting Smoliv to use Razor Leaf, but it literally did no damage, so I am really happy. I think I can actually win this whole gym with just Pascal right here, but I will actually switch things up for a bit. For Sudowoodo, I actually decided to initially go with Lily, which is my Fletchender. But I was a bit worried about the Stone Edge that Sudowoodo would actually use. At last, I decided to go with Spike. We do have Ice Fang on it, so we should be able to do a pretty good damage. As far as I've seen, Luxio also has a really good attack stat, so we should be able to take down Sudowoodo at least in 2 hits. Here it comes. I also believe Sudowoodo will have Sturdy ability, so I don't want to take it down in 1 hit, just in case the ability actually activates. I also decided to go ahead and terrestrialize my Luxio, just to make sure that the Ice type move does get a bit boosted as well. By the way, I feel like the Ice type looks so amazing on Luxio, just because the coloring scheme looks so good on it. I feel like it definitely suits it way better than the Electric type that it usually comes with. Right here, Sudowoodo is gonna be a Grass type. And if you didn't know, the Grass type looks amazing on Sudowoodo as well. It kind of feels like it's an extension for Sudowoodo and looks pretty amazing. Let's see who moves first. In this case, thankfully it was my Spike, so we did get a chance to use Ice Fang. Even though that was not the damage I was expecting, I was lucky enough to actually flinch Sudowoodo right here. So I did get a second chance to go ahead and use Ice Fang. As for Sudowoodo, it will actually go with Trail Blaze, which is the signature move with Brazius. And yep, there we go, it is using it. Trail Blaze is actually a really good move to increase your speed. In this case, it did increase Sudowoodo's speed, but I think we are still faster. Never mind. I was not expecting the Rock Tomb, but we did survive it at least. And take down Sudowoodo in this turn. Pretty cool. So that is the second gym defeated as well. This Nuzlocke challenge has been so much fun till now. And I am so excited to continue it as well. Okay. It seems like my Diglett is also learning Sucker Punch, which is a really good move. I'll go ahead and switch out the Sand Attack for that. I'm also hoping to keep Diglett in my team just because we do have Levencia City Gym coming up. And I think Diglett is a really good team member for that. But since we have defeated Brazius right here, we are finally gonna get our second gym badge. Pretty amazing. Alright. By the way, if you guys didn't really realize, I'm actually going through this game the way Nintendo wanted us to go through. That is through the order that the game is actually set. So the next thing for us to do probably would be the Open Sky Titan. But since we have defeated a Titan and a gym in this episode, I think this is a really good place for me to go ahead and end out this episode. In the next one, I think I'll be going ahead and challenging the Open Sky Titan, as well as our first Team Star crew. Really excited about it and to see how that goes as well. Anyway, I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying this Nuzlocke challenge as much as I am. If you are, please go ahead, like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more, please check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.